In a country where there are many problems, where there is difficulty and pain, many brands will emerge. Do you know why? As long as you can solve the problems, you will build wealth. Because solution, money follows solution. People will pay for the solutions. So my charge, in summary, is think about the future and think about what you will bring into the future. Good afternoon, everyone. How are we doing today? Thank you very much, Mr. Olosunde-Jenrola, for inviting me. I did not know the convener of this event prior to the invitation, and I don't know why I accepted, but I don't know, for some reason I'm here. And I'm really interested in anything that grows the next generation of entrepreneurs, because I do believe that part of the reasons why I have been able to grow in my own business is because of the access that I've had to other people who have grown businesses. So thank you for creating such an avenue for other entrepreneurs. Now, this is going to be very life-changing. That's what I want this session to be. And I am not fazed by the numbers. Do you understand what I mean? Like, I am more particular about the one person that is going to leave here a changed person. I had a different note. In fact, I kept asking my assistant, what is my own particular topic? And she kept saying, reminding me of the theme of the event. And from what I've listened to from the last two speakers, I could see that they've touched on a lot of things. In fact, some of the things that I put in my notes talk about goal setting, she's mentioned it. So I will not bore you by going over the things that you've heard from speakers today, or things that you already know subconsciously. Because I do believe that for you to be here as someone who is saying, I'm an entrepreneur, or I am someone who is combining the two. You have a job, but you're trying to start your business. You must know that if you don't have goals, you're not going to achieve anything. In fact, the decision to be an entrepreneur is a goal. So you decided to say, I'm starting this hair business, or I'm starting this transportation business, or I'm starting this education business, is a goal. And I'm sure that you will have a target audience. Those are like basic things. And not knowing all of those things does not even qualify you to be in a place like this. Do you get what I mean? So I know that we're in a room of intelligent people who want to change the game as far as the entrepreneurial landscape in Africa is concerned. Now, the name of this program is The Future. So I think that's where I will start, is the Future Summit. And you're here at the Future Summit, so I would say to you, the first thing that you need to ask yourself is, what am I going to contribute to the future? Just take a minute to think about it. What am I going to contribute to the future? We must go beyond bread and butter. A lot of people go into entrepreneurship because of money. You just want to pay your bills. That is the general foundation of starting a business in third world countries or developed countries of the world. When an average American says to you that he wants to start a business, in a lot of cases, it is because he wants to innovate. That's the honest truth. So he's saying, oh, there's a water hole problem in this environment, and we want to solve. So the average American or the average Israeli is trying to solve a problem. And so they're saying, oh, we have an erosion problem here, so I'm going to invent a pipe that allows, that is why they start businesses, to solve problems. But on average, in Africa, we start businesses because we want to eat. That's the honest truth. It's like, my own too will be good in life. I will make it. It's like a I thing. It's like, I'm going to break the cycle of poverty in my family. It's like, No, not on me. My father suffered like this. Me, sir, I will not suffer. It's the reason why a lot of people start businesses in Africa. And so because of this, the kind of businesses that a lot of us, myself inclusive, even when I initially started my entrepreneurial journey, were businesses to solve personal problems. But those things don't change the game. Unfortunately, you may make money, but I don't want that to be the goal of my own talk. You may make some money. You may grow your business to eventually be able to buy some amazing car. You may be able to patronize Adron Homes and also now buy land. And, you are beginning to arrive. But that is not the goal of entrepreneurship. The goal of entrepreneurship is problem solving. What are you contributing to your society? What is the change that you're bringing to your world? That is the goal of entrepreneurship. And that is why you see that there is a gap between those who make it and those who make it. And it's ambiguous, so I'll break it down. Now, there are those who make it. They get by. They have a team. And, you see them on Instagram. They have amazing fact. They have followers, 50K, 100K. And they're just like, oh, we've made it. They are constantly advertising. I'm into wig. I'm into, I sell cars. Everybody just picks something. And that then becomes their business that they are pushing for some success. So I said there's a difference between those who make it. Because those people have made it. They've made it. Number 2 hair seller in Nigeria. You have made it too. If that is you. Whatsoever business that you've done, you've made it. But there's a difference between those who make it and those who make it. Because the people who, for example, invented Seller, that app, platform, Seller for selling courses and all those things. Or the people who invented Paystack. That's on the one side. Or a Niger brand chick who has now then created a trade fair that, they're in London. They were in London last week, I think. And now she's saying she's taking people to Canada. They are going to the US. They are now creating trans-border trade fairs. Do you get what I mean? There's a difference. So that's why I said there's a difference between those who make it, and those who make it. So what category are you going to be? That's the question I want you. So you are at the Future Summit. What is your future going to be? That is the question that I pose to you today. And trust me, unfortunately, we go for a lot of events like this, and only 2 people. Only 2 people. The event is for 2 people. And you have to make up your mind that I have to be one of those 2 people. Because many people will come here again as entrepreneurs, we want to keep doing things to tick the box, to make us feel a bit cool, or to make us feel as though we are activity to survive. But only a few people calm down enough to think about the value they want to give their world and the way they will scale that value. Because that is now then the difference between those who make it and those who make it. Because anybody, if you are hardworking enough, if you are hardworking, if you keep thinking, if you never give up, all the things that motivational speakers will tell you, if you don't give up, you will make it. Do you get what I mean? You will make it. You will make it. You will eat. You will send your children to good schools. You will buy a car. You will build house. You will make it reasonably. But, you may make it without making it. And making it is the making it of impact. So I say to you, attendees of the Future Summit 2024, what are you going to give the future as an entrepreneur? Is the question that you must ask yourself. What are you going to give the future? What are you going to give the future? Ask yourself that question. Put your name and say, what am I going to give the future? It is so important. It is so important because it is in the gift that you give the future that your breakthrough comes. Because this is what makes you become a global brand. This is what makes you a change maker. This is what makes you a person that is formidable. And so I say that this class, this session may be for one person. Make that one person you. And the question you must begin to ask yourself is, how am I going to transform my world? How am I going to innovate in a way that my impact is going to be beyond feeding myself, feeding my family, getting by, and having pretty things? This is how you put your name in the history books. This is how you become the person that people then begin to talk about. Do you get it? Because it is fundamental that you make through, true impact. So, I'm glad that you heard about goals. I won't even make this session long. I mean, my time is, I thought I was going to be here earlier. Do you get what I mean? But I also know that you're tired. You've listened to a lot of people. There are lessons. In fact, I would like to ask, what have you learned? But even from me, sitting here, I've heard the lady before me speak about goals. If you don't have goals, those are the foundational things that you must begin to, put in place. Don't just come here to tick the box. Don't just come here because it was cool to be here today. What is your goal? Do you get it? Now go and write it down. Make it clear. Make it smart. She's giving you the acronym for a goal that, now make it smart. Then now look at that goal and tell yourself, is this goal a goal that will truly transform the world? And it's okay for your goal to be small, because the keynote speaker also said to you that a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a step. So it's okay that your goal for now is small, because it is that small goal that you will then continue to build layer upon layer till it becomes something really big. For example, if you decide that you wanted to start a drink brand, for example, it's just a random example. You don't have to, if you were going to invent a business like Coca-Cola, for example, this is a very good example. You can start with Coke. It doesn't mean that you are not dreaming big. Do you get what I mean? Because I don't want to confuse people. Just because I've said, let's dream big, let's dream to impact the world, you're not trying to overburden yourself with little cap. No, you can start with the Coke. And as it begins to gain traction, you introduce Fanta, you introduce your Sprite, you introduce your 7-Up. So what I'm saying is, gradual process of building is very, very important in the entrepreneur journey. But beyond all of those building, beyond all of those goals, there needs to be an inner work that is done within yourself. Inner work where you do a strategy meeting with yourself and you ask yourself, what am I going to be? Who am I going to become? How am I going to transform my world? How is the future going to benefit from my presence here? It's the innovators that we remember. We would never forget Alexander Graham Bell, the man who invented the telephone. Because everybody, those that are inventing this one, or that they built on what he initially built. We would never forget Thomas Edison, the guy that invented the bulb. All of those fundamental things. And I'm not saying that you need to do groundbreaking innovation in tech, even though that would be cool, that Africans will begin to think about groundbreaking innovations. However, what is the little, look for problems. And in the country where there's a lot of problem, like Nigeria, many businesses are waiting to happen. Do you get it? Many brands, this part, listen to it, and in fact, you can write it down. In a country where there are many problems, where there is difficulty and pain, many brands will emerge. Do you know why? As long as you can solve the problems, you will build wealth. Because solution, money follows solution. People will pay for the solutions. So my charge, in summary, is think about the future and think about what you will bring into the future. You may be doing one or two things now for survival, and that is fine. Do you get what I mean? You may probably even have a job right now, even though entrepreneurship is the final goal for you. You may have some small business of, just something that is bringing you money, and that is fine because this is the person who survives that will be able to solve problems. But the goal needs to go away from just trying to do business for the sake of doing business. It must go to trying to build brands, because brands are organizations that have given a promise to their customers, and in solving those problems, you will create phenomenal wealth. Thank you very much for listening to me. My name is Bolanle. I didn't allow Mr. Kish to introduce me properly. My name is Bolanle. Bolanle the Storyteller, Bolanle Olosunde-Jenrola. You can find me at Bolanle the Storyteller on Instagram. I literally teach branding and all of the things you need to do in sales and marketing to build your business, especially for the biggest businesses, like big businesses, banks, oil companies, and all of those. But recently, I'm tailoring some of my content to grow SMEs, but primarily, I like to grow big corporate organizations into powerful brands. So if you want to learn more from me, you can check me out on Instagram at Bolanle the Storytellers.
Okay, thank you very much, everyone. Once again, it's such a great honor to have you here and still waiting up to this moment. I say very big thank you. So we've come to the end of this year's Future Summit, and I want to say very big thank you to every one of you. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your support. I don't know what else to say. I'm speechless, but I just want to say thank you, and thank you. So we are done, and I just want to leave the floor open in case you have any questions regarding Future Summit, or you have any question for me as a person in the aspect of not in the aspect of none. So, all right, sir.
Just to say thank you and well done, and to ask, how are you able to pull all these people here? How are you able to pull them out here to help us this way? Yes.
Okay, is it the speakers, right? Okay, I think it's by relationship. Let me just use the word relationship. Most of them, it's hard to pull. It's hard, but basically it's just relationship.